morning students. Last class I talked about reproduction in plant and animals lesson up to fertilization in plants. Today I discuss about sexual reproduction in humans. Let us come to lesson. Sexual reproduction in humans. In human beings, the male and female reproductive organ differ anatomically and physiologically. New individuals develop by the fusion of gametes. That means male gametes fuse with female gamete. Sexual reproduction involves the fusion of two haploid gametes to form a diploid individuals. They are divided into primary and secondary sex organs. Primary reproductive organs. They include gonads, testes in male and ovaries in female. Secondary reproductive organ. So they involve in the process of ovulation, fusion of male and female gametes, fertilization, divisions of the fertilized egg up to the formation of embryo, pregnancy, development of fetus, childbirth. Next topic is accessory sex organs. Male, vas deferens, epididymis, seminal vesicle, prostate gland and penis. In female, fallopian tubes, uterus, cervix and vagina. Male reproductive organ. So testes are the reproductive gland of the male and it is oval shaped organ, so which lie outside the abdominal cavity of a man in sac-like structure called scrotum. Sac-like structure called scrotum. So each testis is covered with a layer of fibrous tissue called tunica albuginea. So many septa from this layer divide the testis into primordial lobules in which lie seminiferous tubules, cells of Sertoli and the leading cells. The process of spermatogenesis takes place in the seminiferous tubules. The Sertoli cells are supporting cells and provide nutrients to the developing sperms. The leading cells are polyhedral in shape. It lies between seminiferous tubules and secretes testosterone hormone. It initiates the process of spermatogenesis, production of the sperm. Female reproductive organs. Structure of the ovary. The ovaries are located on either side of the lower abdomen, composed of two almond-shaped bodies. Two almond-shaped bodies. So each lying near the lateral end of fallopian tube. So each ovary is a compact structure consisting of an outer cortex and an inner medulla. The cortex is composed of a network of connective tissue called as stroma. This stroma is lined by the germinal epithelium. The epithelial cells called the granulosa cells surround each ovum in the ovary, together forming a primary follicle. As the egg grows larger, the follicle has enlarges and get filled with a fluid and is called the Graafian follicle. Next one, gametogenesis. The formation of the sperm in male and the ovum in female is called gametogenesis. Gametes means male and female reproductive organs. These organs produced by this genesis method, gametogenesis. Next one, structure of human sperm. The spermatozoon consists of head, a middle piece and a tail. The sperm head is elongated and formed by the condensation of nucleus. The anterior portion has a cap-like structure called acrosome. Cap-like structure called acrosome. So it contains hyaluronidase, an enzyme that helps the sperm to enter the ovum during fertilization. A short neck connects the head and the middle piece, which comprises the centriole. The middle piece contains the mitochondria, which provides energy for the movement of tail. It brings about sperm motility, which is essential for fertilization. Structure of ovum. The mature ovum or egg is spherical in shape. The ovum is almost free of yolk. It contains abundant cytoplasm and the nucleus. The ovum is surrounded by three membranes. The plasma membrane is surrounded by inner thin zona pellucida and an outer thick corona radiata. The corona radiata is formed of follicle cells. The membrane forming the surface layer of the ovum is called vitelline membrane. The fluid-filled space between zona pellucida and the surface of the egg is called perivitelline space. Barrier methods. This method prevents sperm from meeting the ovum. Its entry into the female reproductive tract is prevented by barrier. First one, condom. Second one, diaphragm. Hormonal methods. The hormonal preparations are in the form of pills or tablets. That is contraceptive pills. These hormones stop the release of egg from the ovary. Second one, intrauterine devices. The contraceptive device inserted into the uterus. There are two synthetic devices commonly used in India. They are lips loop and copper T. So made of copper and plastic. This can remain for a period of 3 years. This reduces the sperm fertilizing capacity and prevents implantation. This also helps to give adequate time interval between pregnancies. Surgical method. The surgical contraception or sterilization techniques are terminal methods to prevent any pregnancy. This procedure in male is vasectomy and female in tubectomy. These are the permanent methods of birth control. Puberty. The reproductive system in both male and female become functional and an increase in sex hormone production resulting in puberty. This phenomenon tends to start earlier in females than males. Boys in the age of 13 to 14 years, girls at the age of 11 to 13 years. In male, the onset of puberty is triggered by the secretion of hormone testosterone in the testes. In female, the secretion of estrogen and progesterone from the ovary. The secretion of both male and female hormones are under the control of the pituitary gonadotropin luteinizing hormone LH hormone and follicle stimulating hormone FSH. Menstrual cycle process of ovulation. The cyclic events that takes place in the rhythmic fashion during the reproductive period of a woman's life is called menstrual cycle. It starts at the age of 11 to 13 years of age is termed menarche and cases around 48 to 50 years of age, and this stage is termed menopause. The menstrual cycle consists of 4 phases. They are menstrual or destructive phase, follicular or proliferative phase, ovulatory phase, luteal or secretory phase. These phases show simultaneously synchrony of events in both ovary and uterus. Changes in the ovary and the uterus are induced by the pituitary hormones LH and FSH, luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone, and ovarian hormones estrogen and progesterone. Fertilization to fetal development. First stage, fertilization. After fertilization, cleavage and formation of blastula stage it will be start. After this blastulation, implantation process it will be start. After implantation, gastrulation, organogenesis, formation of placenta, pregnancy, gestation, parturition, that means childbirth, and lactation. Next one, reproductive health. So according to the World Health Organization, reproductive health means a total well-being in all aspects of reproduction. So ability to reproduce and regulate fertility, woman's ability to undergo pregnancy and safe childbirth, maternal and infant survival and well-being. National health programs, family welfare program, reproductive and child health care program, family welfare program, maternal and child health care, immunization of mothers, infants and children, nutritional supplement to pregnant women and children, contraception with health education to motivate couples to accept contraceptive method and to have small family norms which improve economic states, living status and quality of life. Reproductive and child health care program, pregnancy and health, childbirth, postnatal care of the mother and child, importance of breastfeeding, prevention of reproductive tract infections and sexually transmitted diseases. Next one, population explosion and family planning. Population explosion defined as the sudden and rapid rise in the size of population, especially human population. So India has been one of the first country in the world to launch the nation-wide family planning program in 1952. Contraception. Contraception is one of the best birth control measures. Common contraceptive method used to prevent pregnancy are discussed by here. Barrier method, hormonal method, intrauterine device IUDs, and surgical method. Urinary tract infection UTI. Many diseases affect both women and men, but a few diseases occur at a higher frequency in women. Women are susceptible to UTI from the bacteria that are present on skin, rectum or vagina. This will enter the urethra before moving upward. The type of UTIs are cystitis or bladder infection, kidney infection, asymptomatic bacteria. First one, cystitis or bladder infection. The bacteria lodge in the urinary bladder and through multiply leading to inflammation. It is most common in the age group of 20 to 50 years. Second one, kidney infection. The bacteria can travel from the urinary bladder and upward to the ureters and affect one or both kidneys. It also infects the bloodstream and leads to serious life-threatening complications. Third one, asymptomatic bacteriuria. The bacteria present in the urinary bladder which may not show any symptoms from the affected person due to microbes from vagina and sweat from genitals. Use of warm water to clean genital helps to get rid of menstrual cramps. Wearing loose clothing rather than tight fitting cloths will ensure the airflow around the genitals and prevent sweating. Napkin hygiene. The sanitary pad and tampons should be wrapped properly and discarded because they can spread infections. Sanitary pad or tampon should not be flushed down to the toilet. Napkin incinerators are to be used properly for disposal of used napkin. Thank you, students. Personal hygiene. Personal hygiene is caring of one's own body and health. The main aspects of hygiene are body hygiene, toilet hygiene, menstrual hygiene and napkin hygiene. First one, body hygiene. So washing is vital to all age group of people, which maintains our personal hygiene. A daily bath regularly keeps skin clean and free of germs. Toilet cleaning or toilet hygiene. The toilet has a lot to do with personal hygiene and general health, as it is a place that cannot be avoided and used regularly. So all of you know how to use the toilets at home, in schools and other public places, so that it will be protect the children from various contagious infections and diseases. Menstrual and napkin hygiene. Women's health depends upon the level of cleanliness to keep them free from skin and genitourinary tract infection. Menstrual hygiene. So maintaining menstrual hygiene is important for the overall health of woman. The basic menstrual hygiene ways are: sanitary pads should be changed regularly to avoid infections.